the heart of the Whispering Woods stood Black Mountain, a place shrouded in dark clouds and even darker legends. They said that once you went up, you never came back down. But for Kian, a 13-year-old with a heart full of courage, fear was just a story told by others, not one he intended to live himself. He'd always been drawn to the unknown, the whispers of mystery that danced on the wind. So when rumors of a strange aircraft crashing near the mountain's peak began to spread like wildfire through his small town, Kian knew he couldn't just sit by. This wasn't just a story. It was a call to adventure. He wasn't going alone, though. With him were his two best friends, Arav, whose nervous energy was balanced only by his unwavering loyalty, and Vihan, the thoughtful, glasses-wearing brains of their trio. Together, they were an unstoppable team, or so they liked to believe. They packed their bags, filled their water bottles, and set off towards the dense forest that guarded the mountain's secrets. The air grew colder as they hiked, the usual chorus of forest life replaced by an eerie silence. The only sounds were the crunch of leaves under their sneakers and the thumping of their own excited hearts. As they ventured deeper, the familiar woods began to feel alien. Twisted trees loomed over them like ancient sentinels, and a strange metallic scent hung in the air. Suddenly, a deafening crash shattered the silence. From the canopy above, a massive figure dropped to the ground, landing with a metallic thud that shook the earth. It was a tall, imposing robot, its black and silver body gleaming menacingly, its eyes glowing with a piercing red light. Arav let out a yelp and stumbled back, while Vihan froze, his eyes wide with a mix of terror and fascination. They weren't just exploring a crash site. They had walked straight into a danger zone. But where his friends saw a monster, Kian saw a challenge. His mind raced, analyzing the robot's stiff, mechanical movements. He saw its weakness. Without a second thought, he scooped up a sharp-edged rock from the forest floor. With a powerful throw honed by years of practice, he hurled it directly at the robot's glowing red eye. The impact was immediate. Sparks flew, and the robot's head jerked back with a grating screech. It staggered for a moment, its red light flickering erratically, before collapsing into a heap of lifeless metal. Kian stood his ground, breathing heavily, with a look of pure determination. He had faced down the monster and won. With the immediate threat gone, the boys cautiously continued their ascent. The metallic scent grew stronger, and soon they saw it. Through a clearing in the trees, a soft blue light pulsed rhythmically, cutting through the dense fog. They had found the source of the crash. It wasn't an aircraft, not any kind they had ever seen. The ship was a marvel of futuristic design, its surface a seamless shimmering metal, covered in intricate symbols that glowed with an otherworldly energy. A large gash in its side revealed a gaping hole, from which the soft, inviting blue light emanated. It was a vessel from another world. Drawn by an irresistible curiosity, Kian led his friends toward the wreckage. He peered inside, his heart pounding in his chest. There, in the center of the ship's cockpit, was the source of the light. A small, childlike being was trapped within a shimmering cylinder of blue energy. It had smooth, glowing blue skin, large, innocent silver eyes that shimmered with unshed tears, and strange, floating symbols that hovered on its cheeks. This was no monster. This was a lost child. The alien, who they would soon come to know as Zeron, looked at them with a plea for help in its expressive eyes. Kian's protective instincts took over completely. He ignored the strange technology and the potential danger. All he saw was someone in trouble. He reached out and placed his hand on the glowing energy field. Instead of a shock, he felt a soft, warm pulse, like a gentle hum vibrating through his palm. In an instant, the energy field dissolved into 1,000 tiny particles of light, fading away into nothing. The alien child, Zeron, stumbled forward, weak but free. He looked up at Kian, his large silver eyes filled with a gratitude that needed no words. In that moment, a bond was forged, a friendship that stretched across the stars. But their relief was short-lived. A low, rumbling sound began to echo from down the mountain. It started as a faint clanking, but it grew louder and louder, closer and closer. Zeron's expression turned from relief to panic. Kian and his friends rushed to the edge of the clearing and looked down. What they saw made their blood run cold. An entire army of robots, hundreds of them, was scaling the mountainside. Their red eyes burned like a swarm of angry fireflies against the darkening landscape, their mechanical limbs clawing at the rock and dirt, relentlessly advancing on their position. The single robot had been a scout. This was an invasion. There was no time to run, no place to hide. They were trapped, but they weren't going down without a fight. Fueled by adrenaline and the desire to protect their new friend, the boys prepared for battle. Bihan, using his quick thinking, gathered sturdy branches and sharpened their ends, throwing them like spears at the advancing robots. Arav, using his strength, dislodged heavy boulders and sent them rolling down the slope, crushing several of the metallic soldiers. Zeron, now regaining his strength, joined the fight, firing powerful beams of blue energy in his hands, blasting the robots apart. And Kian, agile and fearless, weaved through the chaos, drawing the robots' fire and creating openings for his friends. It was a desperate, chaotic, and heroic stand. They fought with everything they had, a small band of defenders against a relentless metal tide. The battle raged, a whirlwind of flying rocks, crackling energy, and exploding metal. Against all odds, they were holding them back. Seeing the tide turn, Zeron channeled a massive surge of energy to the crashed ship. Glowing blue patterns spread across its hull, sealing the gash and repairing the damage in a matter of seconds. The ship's engines hummed back to life, ready for departure. The remaining robots, their primary target now out of reach, began to retreat. Their mission had failed. With the danger past, the moment came for goodbyes. The restored ship hovered silently above the ground, its ramp lowered. Before boarding, Zeron turned to Kian. He held out his small hand, and in his palm rested a small, beautiful crystal that pulsed with the same soft blue light as the ship. He placed it in Kian's hand, a silent gesture of thanks, a token of their incredible adventure, and a promise that this was not the end. As the ship ascended into the night sky and vanished among the stars, Kian stood on the mountaintop, the crystal glowing warmly in his hand. The dark clouds over Black Mountain had cleared, revealing a sky full of infinite possibilities. He knew, with absolute certainty, that his life had changed forever. This wasn't just the end of one crazy night. It was the beginning of a much, much bigger adventure. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow for the next chapter.